This is fresh, hot off the Twitter. This is fresh as it gets, guys. 1v1s are back in Battle Royale. Gulag update coming in Season 2. Of course, they delayed Season 2, so it's going to be coming next month. But they're going to be going back to 1v1s. They said they're going to be listening to feedback, right? I thought, surely they're not. Maybe this just means they're going to take the Juggernaut out. Or something else. They're actually going back to 1v1s. Bro, I was just going back on Warzone 1. I have not lost a single Warzone 1 1v1. Uh-oh, the bots are going to be scared now. Uh-oh. Bots getting carried or scared now. They're going to lose their whole audience, guys. This is it. They've been catering to all the casuals, and now they're about to screw all the casuals. Now everybody's going to be pissed. Damn. We're really going there. Oh, this is going to be a wild ride here, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to have a wild ride in the Call of Duty community. Buckle up. Here we go. What up, Z?
Warzone 2
How you doing, man?
complex.
I'm ready to game. I'm ready
Beautiful.
to
Same
pop some headshots.
Yes, sir.
Push
Throw out
some fights.
360s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, I got to keep up with you. I got to keep up. Yesterday,
Hey.
I was running pistol only. I was going for a little
Oh.
like John Wick challenge.
Ooh.
And but I put Bird's Eye on, and I was loving that, man.
Dude, I'm telling you. Were you not using it the session that we played?
Yeah, I used it at the very end of it because you convinced me to do it. And then,
Yep.
I usually like to snipe. I usually like to have fast hands for my swap, so I really hadn't used it a whole lot. But when I was running pistol and I had that, like I was getting so many more kills because I just knew where people were.
Yeah.
To go kill them, and even just doing pistol only, I was getting more kills.
The thing about Bird's Eye, though, and why I've been trying to convince everybody that's like still using fast hands or restock, like whatever your favorite thing is, it's just like the way you got to look at it is, obviously there are times where fast hands, oh wow, if I could have pulled my gun out there quicker, or if I could have reloaded there quicker, I maybe would have lived. Or same with restock, like, oh, if I had a couple of smokes there, maybe I would have survived that or whatnot. But the same goes for Bird's Eye. It's like, hey, maybe if I knew that this team was here, I would have survived that. And in my opinion, Bird's Eye just outscales and outweighs like both of the other ones. Even though the other two classes are great, it's just like there's nothing that beats knowing where almost everyone is at all times. It's too strong. In my opinion, I don't think it should be that strong, but because they have it in the game and Season 2 doesn't come out for another month, I'm going to still be using this for the next month. I hope they nerf it. I think it's just way too strong. There's no way this is what this perk is supposed to be doing either, because if you go in and you read it, I think it just says UAV and radar pings reveal the enemy direction, and that's it.
So it says here, undetectable, a ghost is undetectable by UAVs, portable UAVs, heartbeat sensors. So it doesn't necessarily specify the Bird's Eye counter to it, but UAV and radar pings reveal enemy's direction. That's all Bird's Eye says. It doesn't say it goes through ghost, it counters ghost, but it does.
Which it does, yeah.
And
it only counters it, though. I don't know if you noticed when you pop UAV. So like I've noticed, and maybe it glitches out sometimes. Maybe it shows you where some ghosted people are. But what I've noticed from using it is whenever I pop UAV, it's almost as if it acts as like I don't know. It's almost as if it acts as like an advanced UAV now, because you've since you're already a Bird's Eye and there's already scans going off for you, and then you pop a UAV. That's when I can start seeing ghosted players, and they show up as red dots. They show up as they don't show up as like the arrow pointing. They show up as like the normal one, right?
Yeah, it shows up like an advanced UAV popped ghosted player, where it shows like the whole, like it just shows you they're above or below or whatever. It's way more powerful than all the other perks.
There's just almost like no denying it. It's
way more powerful than all the other perks.
It's so good. Like I said, like it's kind of like, even if the other perks would have saved you in other times, in my opinion, I think this saves people or just is more helpful. More than the other perks are most of the time, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's kind of how I judge it for sure.
Did you see 1v1 gulags they just posted?
Oh my god, bro! Listen, I just want to see them I want to see them communicate. I want to see them really just I get on this game just about every day and have something to complain about, which is it's getting very old. I know it's probably getting old for people to listen to me do, but it's like, they're not making it hard to complain. I mean, there's some things that are just like, it'd be cool to see if they weren't that way. And it's not like I'm just like saying stuff and then not giving a solution. I feel like there's some things that, like that 1v1, I think that's just the way it needed to be from the beginning. Like, I thought it was fun for a little bit. It was kind of cool, but it got old pretty quick, man. I feel like the 1v1, if it's not broken, don't fix it type deal. I feel like it was so iconic from the first game that, like, I see what they were trying to do. You know what I mean? I see that they were, like, trying to, just innovate and make something exciting,
Yeah, I think, see, that's the thing to me.
Yeah.
First of all, I like the 2v2s. I think they're fun, especially if you're not talking about competitive. If it's in competitive, it's a lot worse.
And that's always what I gotta do is take myself out of those shoes. You know what I mean? Because I totally do understand that this game.
And that's
is
where
like,
I see, I see where those players are coming from, right? But at the same time, I do think it's been really fun to see. I like the idea of the 2v2 Gulag because especially there's a lot of times where I come out of it with 2 kills, and so then I feel way better about myself. But then there's also, I like that better than, for example, the 3-zone split. Now that it's been 2 months doing, and those 3-zone splits happen.
Yep.
Those are kind of cool too, but to me, that's way more gimmicky. I don't need that. I don't like
hear you on that. Yep.
The zones pull more often at the end game, I notice.
Like pull faster or pull
further?
Yeah,
so like what would have been in Warzone 1, it starts to pull at zone 8 or minute 20 of the game. It seems like it's at minute 17 of the game, and or in zone 6 or 7 or whatever. Like, it's happening sooner where the zones are pulling, especially for solos. Like, there was so many games in Warzone 1, and even I went back and played Warzone 1 twice, 2 streams recently, and I never even saw the zone pull because the game didn't get, like, there was only 3 people left, and the game gave us enough time to fight in the zones. It didn't just start pulling. Like, as soon as this is like zone locked, 5 seconds, the whole zone's pulling, and you got opposite side, or it pulls to your side, and then you win off of that. I don't know how it is in quads. I haven't played as many quads. Maybe you end the game before zone starts pulling. But I notice way more games where it is pulling all over the place in the end. And sometimes that is fun. But I think after playing it for as much as I have, it's not as fun as just letting me play the game. Like, okay, I fought for this really good position in the game. I have high ground, and now I get 5 seconds of advantage because I risked my whole game to get high ground off this. I should have stayed low ground the whole time. And, that's what it turns into. Okay, well, I'm just going to play low ground. I'm going to sit in the gas with my gas mask. And, like, I can do that, but it's so much less fun than being rewarded for making smarter plays ahead of time.
Smarter plays, yeah. And,
like,
and it's like you just feel super gutted if you do make a smart play, and then it's like, oh, now I have to move all the way back to the opposite side. I gotta, like, and people will always say, like, okay, well, that's kind of the nature of battle royales. You gotta have luck, you gotta have RNG. It's kind of, that's how it goes, and I agree with that. But I still do think that BRs should, I think they should have things that are RNG, but I think they should be, like, not so RNG that it's like, I don't know. I still think you should have some type of control of it in a way. Like, it shouldn't be so ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I think that's where they had something good with Warzone 1, though, which was like they still did have that. The zones still did pull. You still could get absolutely screwed. Maybe it was skewed too much because you also could stay in the gas for so long.
Like stims and
it was a bit extreme, right? But I think they brought it back the other way so far that, and I've played it, I've learned, I've just gotten tons of wins, I've gotten, some win streaks, whatever. And looking at both of them now after this time, I do think there is a middle from where both of them are that is better for both sides of the equation that I think they can do. So I'm pretty optimistic what they're doing. I think 1v1s, I don't think it's necessarily like the craziest thing, but I do think, I went back and played some more Zone 1, and I never lost a single Gulag.
Yeah,
I haven't lost a single one.
I didn't lose a single one the other day.
And that's why I posted, I was like, I think
so good.
The bots are going to be very mad about that change. I don't know if that one, that might be a bit extreme, but I think they're going to really isolate a lot of people with that one.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I think that's a riskier one versus if they said, all right, we're getting rid of the 3-zone split. I think that would go over better than... I don't know though, because I mean, every tweet I'm reading off this post is so happy that it's 1v1 Gulag that I mean, I get that too.
I think we should have the RPK forever.
Joe, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about?
I think the RP. What's good, boys?
What up, man?
I freaking love. Hey, I love it. Yeah, I woke up today and I checked. Well, I checked Twitter like I don't know, and I see that we're getting a 1v1 Gulag back. Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
It's a great day to have a great day, boys.
It is a great day.
I said earlier, like 2 weeks ago, I was like, if the rumor is true that Raven Software took over, they made all the changes to it. Obviously, Caldera was a dumpster fire at the start. And again, I think that later it was good. I know some people hated it, but I think later it was good because of Raven. Made a ton of changes, and if they're the ones tweeting that they're going to be making changes like that, then I'm assuming that they're the ones that already taken over. Hearing feedback about the 1v1 Gulag, I'm assuming they'll do TTK. Who knows? So I'm like, but are we already too late where people are already done with? I don't know. We'll
That's
see.
how I felt
That's
about
what I don't
Caldera.
know. Yeah.
That's how I felt about Caldera. I felt like I sadly already lost us. You know what I mean? It's like, and because even at the end of Caldera, as much as I thought it was also in a really good spot, I still don't know. I just couldn't. My heart wasn't fully there because I feel like it just like it had this bad taste put in my mouth from the beginning, you know.
First impressions are a lot, man, and
First impressions
a
are a
lot
lot.
of people. This is what I was talking about earlier. Is like the people who are just on the fray of all of this and don't like they just see one headline, they see one reel, one post, they're like, Call of Duty sucks. They're like, yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I'm not playing that. Boom. Never look at it again. And then it's just like, all right, it's already, you know, it's hard to get the word of mouth back to those guys or to convert back.
I think a lot of people have said this, but I just genuinely believe that this game was not ready to be released. I don't think it was. Well, I also know that I heard people, and I know, Joe, you were in it. I wasn't in it, but I know a lot of people were in that DMZ tournament the other day, and so many people tweeted out the same thing, which was basically this game, without a doubt, was made with the idea of DMZ kind of at the forefront. And Joe, do you feel the same? Like after playing DMZ, I've never even played one game of DMZ, but I heard a lot of people say the same thing. They were like, yeah, this feels like the game was kind of made around DMZ.
See, I could be crazy, but again, it felt the same to me. I saw a lot of tweets of a lot of people saying like it feels smoother, it feels better, the movement, but maybe I was just so not focusing on that and about the challenges in the tournament, but I didn't really feel that difference, and I could be completely wrong, but
well, I think a lot of the way that the map was designed and the game was designed was 100% for DMZ. Like if you even just look, like you didn't see a lot of it in the tournament because we didn't have to do it, but if you just play normal DMZ, like there's some quests where you got to go collect toothpaste. There's some you got to collect screwdrivers and light bulbs. And you're going to find those specifically in those toolboxes or in the sheds. Like, that's where you find the backpacks and the 2 armors. And so there's specific spots on the map that you don't even ever use in the Battle Royale. But they're all, like, they still had to spend a bunch of time to design that, to make sure that it placed in a right spot that actually makes sense for this. And, like, I think more so of that. But in terms of the actual the way the game plays, like, yeah, I mean, they definitely spent a lot of resources and time on it, but I don't know. I played both of them quite a bit, so I think, I still think they designed a lot for this game too, especially from where the game is now compared to where it was at the COD Next event, trying to loot and do all the things.
Oh yeah,
in Battle Royale. Like,
I totally agree.
They definitely did a lot from there, and that's where even at that event, I was like, this would be. I'd be surprised if they got this done in 2 months. Like, they should probably delay this.
I don't think Warzone 2 was fully ready to go when it was. It would have been cool to see, like you said, Stone, maybe take a little bit more time. I would have been completely fine with them saying, maybe I would have been pissed in the moment, but to get a better result, I'm always happy with waiting a little bit longer. We've seen too many massive corporations push their developers to push out games like Cyberpunk way too early and just not, it not really go over well. So I'm kind of always down for being a little bit more patient.